everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today, we've got a team that's been great at defending the pass. The Cardinals are top 10 at defending the pass, and they'll be going up against the Seahawks, who will need to solve that secondary. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at University of Phoenix Stadium here in Glendale. It's certainly hot outside here in the desert, but somehow this Cardinal crowd turned up the heat a moment ago. They were in a frenzy as their team emerged from the tunnel, and the Cardinals, they're set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback in his 11th season now, former Michigan State Spartan. You get a look at Drew Stanton.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Here we go now. 3-19.
This is Kerwin Williams, his first carry. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Off the play fake. Stanton. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. No. Check. Patriot.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Let's look at this offense now, and let's talk about John Brown.
An exciting young talent from Pittsburgh State, home of the Gorillas. Hard to cover, great moves in short areas.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Operating from the gun, Stanton. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want...
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun, Stanton. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's able to get it to the 33, good enough for a first down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They go back to the ground with Williams. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
Now Barkley. And this is incomplete. The tight end, Jermaine Gresham, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. They give it to Williams, running right. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he's got room.
Whoosh.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Now it's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Off the fake to Lacy, here's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Gets it away, and I don't think Peterson will get a chance to touch this one. Angling for the sideline. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want...
Green 39! Green 39!
Try one if we're in that position again, and I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker, but just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost, but if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Room to run past midfield. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90! No, check. Patriot!
Out of the pistol, here's Williams. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. A first carry now. This is Johnson. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be two guys on him on just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be great. You throw it to a great receiver, he could come down with it anyway.
Now, this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off.
Pass interference. Offense.
Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
To throw is Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's third down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. An extra DB added here for the Cards on third.
Blitzer play coverage.
The play fake to Lacey. Now this is Wilson. Room here to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's John Ryan now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. On the return is Peterson. Oh, twisting away. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The numbers for Williams a week ago, 12 carries, 115 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Throwing on first down. Stanton. And he rifles one incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And it's 2nd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They hand off to their big tight end. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Cardinals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Barkley. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. Back to Glendale after this timeout.
NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stanton looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. There he goes, right side. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field.
And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a 2nd drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
First down, this is Rawls. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
On 2nd down, Rawls. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that, because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then, because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was zero space, no gain.
He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Cardinals on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Off play action. Stanton. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Andy Lee now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. His side, they've got the lead. But I think he's not happy with how he's played. That's the bottom line. But how many adjustments need to be made when, bottom line, you're winning?
Yeah, you're just trying to play better for yourself, because if you do, then you've got a chance to increase your lead, and your team will play better. Look, when you fight your internal battle as a quarterback and you're not playing as well as you want to, just fall back on the old cliche. There's no I in team, but there's definitely one in win.
Look at that, Davis. Yeah, no I in team, but we'll see if he can pick himself up a little bit here on this drive. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
They go again with Rawls. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held.
Offense.
So no gain on the play. They'll decline the penalty to not give them the down back.
And were you thinking to yourself that maybe they would take the yardage there?
Yeah,
because
possibly.
I definitely was. But as you noted, maybe they're just looking at the downs chart and saying, okay, we're comfortable where we are.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Lacy. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now it's Peterson. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And our focus now moves on to Larry Fitzgerald. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, We're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Time running out here on the play clock. They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Back to throw. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive linemen and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Stanton. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He probably wants to improve how he's been playing. There's no doubt about that. But you don't want to overthink it too much and reinvent the wheel when your team's up, right?
That's so true. Because now if you're just worried about how you're playing, even though the team's winning, that's a selfish side of you that you don't want out there. And that's not what the best quarterbacks exhibit. So here's an opportunity to go ahead and guide the team, try and get better as the game goes along. But remember, your team's winning. Things are pretty good.
Yeah, they've got the advantage. We'll see how he does personally here this drive.
We talk about setting a tone or beginning a drive. That run was absolutely textbook. I'm telling you, partner, now they're not just thinking about an easy drive. They're thinking about maybe taking it downfield.
Yeah, started at their 2. Now they've got a heavy amount of breathing room. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This Cardinals pass rush in 2016 got home 48 times. That's a pretty good number.
A very good number, led the league. Is it just because the dudes that they had, or the scheme, or both, or what?
It's always the dudes first, but their scheme, attacking, pressure, they'll continue to pile up the sacks.
So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And he'll take it just outside the 40. That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Getting set to go again. We'll get a peek at Larry Fitzgerald as he heads back out there now. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from the desert after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. From the gun, Stanton caught right side. Gresham takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And they are on a little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
After the made field goal, here's Dawson back out now to send this one away on the kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And we move our focus to Thomas Rawls. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
We often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Robert Kindici in there to drop it for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from me a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So the offense lining up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And an alley to run. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And our focus now moves on to Larry Fitzgerald. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the 2nd quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
False start, offense.
That's on the veteran guard, Alex Boone.
Still 2nd down.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go now. Blue, landing.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing on 3rd and long. Stanton. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Well, so many times defensive backs get caught playing the man rather than the football, but not in this case. That's an excellent play. Did exactly what you're supposed to do. Attack the football and help break up the pass.
And, yep, as a result, knocks it down. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the 2nd quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Here's Wilson. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we send you on to Orlando, we hook back up with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get you caught up on all the highlights from the first half. Both the Cardinals and the Seahawks have not had the best success throwing the football. It's a passing league, but these defenses have mostly been able to contain that today. All right, let's roll those highlights. Cardinals have it early in the second. Under pressure here, the pass is picked off. Wright's the one who makes the pick to give a boost to his defense. Offense on the field now after the pick. Lockett's wide open, able to make the grab. And he finds his mark for the score. Seahawks with the ball late in the half as they take a 7-0 lead. Vanette's by himself here, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to their own 33-yard line. So that'll do it for us here in Orlando. For the call of the second half, let's hand it back over to Brandon and Charles. Brandon.
teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters, as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separate.
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Chandler Jones, the outside linebacker, drops him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Wilson to give to Rolls. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move. It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Wilson to throw. He's got him in, complete. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Paul Richardson, 77 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
23 yards on the play.
Anytime you call man coverage against Larry Fitzgerald, you're really holding your breath as a defensive guy. Such precise routes. And use that big frame that he has, that body against you, it's going to be very difficult to break passes up against him.
Yeah, when you make 9 Pro Bowls in your first 12 years, you might want to give him a little bit more coverage than that.
Yeah, it's not just athletic ability. He's a thinking man's receiver as well.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Second down now after the pass completion.
All right, here we go. Boom, landing.
Operating from the gun. Stanton. And open left side, it's Williams. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot.
To throw on 2nd down. Stanton. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. Now Stanton. Buying time to his left. And the Cardinals are in. Touchdown. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
From the gun, Stanton. And he'll get in for the 2 points. And that'll cut the deficit down to just a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call. And he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion. And now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
To return, this is Doug Baldwin. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They start on the ground with Rawls. That is not going to be any help as they dump it behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 2nd down, Wilson drops it underneath for Rawls. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's John Ryan now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now? And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was his pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Mike Bennett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago. And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive. As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you? I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tramon Williams. Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
Detroit, set, 3-19.
Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it. And the offense behind the chains here, a touch on 2nd and 11.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Stanton, and incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up 3rd down. It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body. Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 11.
Detroit. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Stanton. This is caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Let's go. All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll run it with Williams. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And that loss of yards there is not just on him. It's on the guys blocking for him. I mean, they're supposed to create some type of space or at least get a stalemate. They end up letting them through, and they ended up tackling him for a loss. Williams will try again. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. Off the play fake. Stanton. Hard throw, incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
And Dawson's kick is good. And that will tie our score at 14. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Tyler Lockett now with a return. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27th. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They stay on the ground. Rolls again. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
They always that changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. And that,
the Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Frosty Rucker in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken at the 23. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Detroit!
They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter. I'm ready now for 2nd and 9.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Barkley. And he fires one incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On third down, Stanton. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Dances by him. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up second down. Wilson going to give to Rawls. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They run with a power back. Rawls. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Taking it about the 16. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well. Because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking of the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam through the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike." That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. It's Leopard.
Looking to throw. Stanton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by Rawls. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Robert Kimdichie in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Taking it about the 36. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out now come the Cardinals. On 1st down, Stanton. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stanton. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And some room to roam now. And he'll be knocked down sideways. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now a handoff looking right. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
To throw on 2nd down, Stanton. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Let's go. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Now the dual threat man. This is DJ Foster. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
To throw on 3rd down, Stanton. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the 1st down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And Dawson's kick is good. And they take a 17-14 lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
Now after the made field goal, here's Dawson back out now to send this one away on the kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. From the shotgun, Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometime football.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to...
play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Eight yards to go here on 2nd down.
Let's go. Blue line. Blue line.
Back to throw. Stanton. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Looks like he'll throw here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Off play action. Stanton. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. So a change of possession here on the punt. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
He'll look to throw.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And avoids the contact by sliding. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. They'll look to throw. And some room to maneuver. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Chandler Jones in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. And the spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This will be 3rd and a mile. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Robert Kindici in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are gibbering.
Down to a knee. Here's the Cardinals look to let the clock roll. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Cardinals, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Seattle, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Cardinals as we say so long from Glendale.